Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Secrets of the Viz. This month we're doing a Christmas special diving into all the IMViz entries, and today I have Nathalie with me to present on the very interesting one about theme park. So over to you, Nathalie, to do a intro.
Hello, thank you. So yes, I'm Nathalie. I'm Tableau ambassador, Tableau academic ambassador for the second year, and I'm a multi-times participant to IronViz. I missed one since I started on Tableau Public, and clearly I regret it. So I'm really glad to be here to talk about this piece.
This is really cool because it's also a personal story on how you and your boys enjoy roller coasters. But before we get into that, this year's theme is entertainment, and there's a lot of different topics that you could have possibly went with. What was the inspiration behind you selecting this topic?
Yeah, well, in terms of entertainment, I say roller coaster, not for everyone, but at least for me, the most of entertainment. And I know there is a lot of data on it because when you go in a park, you have the timing for the queue and a lot of information that you can get from the park. This is what sparked the idea. And there is a lot of fun and a lot of parkers. And as well, the fact that I really enjoyed spending a lot of time with my sons at the park, and that's bring back a lot of memories because they're grown up now, and that was really good spending time with them.
I have to admit, I'm not a huge fan of roller coasters because my kids are old enough to sit the kiddish version of roller coaster. So I've been training my endurance and confidence. Both my daughters have the daredevil traits from my wife, so they're gonna love taking the big roller coasters in the future. So I have to prepare myself. So maybe you want to share your this, and we can talk about the design inspiration on how you actually laid out the entire thing.
In terms of inspiration, the design is really condensed. I really wanted to, when you go in a theme park, not only for the roller coaster, there is always something to look at. So I would say, compared to what I usually do for IronViz, I wanted to really concentrate a lot of things everywhere, that every little thing can attract attention. And so it's really about the theme park, and with this pastel color, the inspiration, it's like a castle or something. I'm inspired with ChatGPT to help in my process. So I was really happy with the result. The problem that I had with this viz is I started quite late in the process. I would say 5 days before and I've got so many things that are not great, but that's okay.
So you were saying that you started on this 5 days before the date. There's a lot of things that you've managed to do within 5 days. So I'm really impressed.
No, so that was not easy, but I did it. But not that much, in fact, because most of the things are easy. The bar chart, it's just a pie chart. That's a lot of work, but that's a lot of less work that I usually put in my IronViz.
So let's go through the parts of the Viz that I really like. The first one was the revenue breakdown all the way at the start, where you said it represents the sugar lollipop image. I think it really resembles that now that you have said that. And I like the fact that you have this little interaction that you can click to get the charts to show up in like an easier bar charts. I thought that was a pretty nice touch. The second thing I wanted to point out was the next section where you have a ticket to Dreamland, separated boxes like this. Initially, I thought that you have densified the data, but actually you use a very cool technique by using the reference line, and I thought that was brilliant work.
Yes, I cannot recall for more, but this is inspiration from the data farm for sure.
It's really hard to remember who did who because there's so many amazing things that the data farm has created.
Exactly.
The next section where you have the scatter plot with the histogram at the top and the right section. I don't know if I have ever seen the scatter plot being done this way, but it's so interesting because you have, I would say, 5 dimensions of data over here. You have the scatter plot, sizes, the x and the y axis, and at the top and the right section, you have an additional layer of data that shows the distribution of it. That was really brilliant as well. How do you call this chart? Is that from inspiration from somewhere, or did you come up with this idea yourself?
Well, I think that's coming from the kind of histogram. Normally, you do that with heat map. I never thought it was a scatter plot, but this is the same principle for the heat map. So
Yeah, I'll probably steal this idea for one of my work projects because this is really interesting because you can embed so many layers of information in just one chart and not have like multiple and multiple of charts.
mm, 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 mm.
And then the last section that really impressive roller coaster probably took you the longest to create, right?
No, absolutely not. All the credit goes to the Flemish twins because that's come directly for them. They published that the blog one day before, and I say, okay, this is exactly what I need, and I can show you how it works. Normally, you don't have the absolute. So now you can see this is only bar chart, but this is in fact a water chart. So if I go and put everything on lines, you can see all the dots are related, and I can bring this into pass. And you can see this is exactly the water chart that they've got. Actually, I keep it open. This is from the Flemish twins. They published something about Dexter, and they explain everything, and they even give the template. So the only thing I had to do is getting the template, putting my data in, and that's it. I wanted to give up on this idea. Really, I started something, but it was really awful, and I asked for feedback to Josh Kusavos, and he told me, okay, you should keep going on with this idea because this is really cool.
That's really cool. I know you said earlier on that you haven't opened up this viz since the submission day. So it's been 2 months. What are the things that you could have done differently now that you've reopened this file?
A lot. So what I could have done differently is I think there is too much text, too much context. But that was my purpose at the time, to have something really done, like you're queuing in a pack and there is always something to look at. But visually, and now that I look at it, I think it's maybe too much. The thing that I would have done for sure is to reduce the text and to highlight the insight more importantly, because here there is a lot of insight and I think they are not really put it in the light as they should. Like, for example, you can see there is 42% in the top 100 that have inversion, while the coaster fans, because this is different data set, what is the best thing about a roller coaster? They say inversion 4%. So that contradicts the top 100, and I say I should have been focused on that. I think as well. It's the same for material. As you can see, wood is only 13%, but 24% make it to the top 100. Different in terms of analysis, but you can go that far and getting to this detail. Maybe there is other way to highlight it better.
So I think you have laid your text very well. There's a lot of negative space that breaks between different sections and all. So in terms of readability, I think this is really good. And I love the insights that you brought up, because I think as a non-roller coaster fan, the inversion doesn't hit me as much as the airtime, for sure, because it has like that drop in feeling. But when you're going upside down, your whole body is glued to the seat, so you don't feel anything actually. So that's a really cool insight, actually.
I love the airtime. I love them so much.
Out of top 70 theme parks, you have visited 18. What is your most favorite and least favorite of that 18?
My favorite park, of course, is Disneyland Paris. And the reason is I was living close to it. So at that time, I think I knew this park by heart because I was going like once a week.
Once a week is quite a lot.
Yeah, we were crazy. But during winter, you don't have so much outside activities and the boys need to get their energy out.
So out of this list that you haven't visited, what is the number one on your bucket list?
What I would love to do is visit all the Disneyland park. And in Disneyland, for example, the attraction that I like the most is It's a Small World. And it's coming with a song that keep in your heads, like, it's a small world, na, na, na. And yeah, that's in your heads.
So funny thing, I just attended my daughter's graduation for her kindergarten. One of the ending songs is It's a Small World. So they have all the kids from nursery 1 to kindergarten 2 just on stage singing that song. So it's really heartwarming and I can see how catchy that song is.
Yes, really.
Sounds
And,
good.
and the color is inspired as well by the specific attraction. And it's not roller coaster at all. It's really slow pace.
So I think we have everything that we need from your Viz today. Thank you so much for
Okay.
walking us through the entire Viz. Is there anything that you're working on next, or you're just taking a break for the holidays and coming back next year?
In terms of visiting, I need to catch up on a lot of work at Wednesday because I love what they do. I think everyone should participate because you learn so much techniques with that. And by knowing the capabilities of Tableau, by doing this kind of challenge, when you have to create a viz for fun or for your job, it's kind of easy to know how you're going to do things. But a big viz, I think Iron Viz is the only period of the year that I focus on to create something big. Yeah.
But that's interesting. I think you being an academic ambassador, Workout
Mhm.
Wednesday is very on point for you to learn the ins and outs of Tableau. I hope everyone learned something new from this, and we'll see you at the next one. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Bye.
Okay.
So I play game like World of Warcraft, Lord
Wow,
of
you
the
play
Ring.
World of Warcraft.
Yeah, I did.
I'm
Yeah, yeah.
impressed. I'm impressed. I used to play World of Warcraft for quite a while during my
Yeah,
younger days.
I know that too because I literally love your viz and I want to see you on stage. I mean, this is incredible, everything that you did. Now we can talk about your viz. The fact that you've got the plum chart that goes with animation. I say, come on, in Tableau public. What did you do?
That actually took me a very long time to create
Wow.
because sometimes when you do the animation on Tableau desktop, it doesn't play on public. It's very iffy. There's this index that Tableau calculates to check if they're gonna pause or play your animation on Tableau public. So that factor exceeds, it doesn't play. There's like a number of filters, number of parameters, number of calculated fields that determine that, but I'm not too sure of the
Okay.
exact number.
But your viz is like crazy. I mean, all the design and you even have like when you change the cartridge are moving around. At the beginning, I said they won't move, but they're moving because
Yes, so that
the
was
little
the
guy, which one is it? Which one is
yeah,
it?
that was the idea that I was going for because when I was young, I had all the discs just laying around. So when I changed, then I'll just throw one at the side.
I recognize the feeling.
I'm so happy that people recognize that feeling when they're playing
Yes,
around with the cartridge.
yes. Yeah, I think when you have the workflow that you imagine and the user are seeing it without you, I think, wow, you did well. That's it.
Thank you. It makes me so happy.